is working this time, so let me clean up this old stuff. And okay, previously we went through this one to create a Velociraptor server on Linux connected to a client on Windows so you can do things. And now we're going to do this one, 372. So the starting point is, well, I'm going to move the instructions over to the side. And here's the starting point. I've got a Windows machine here. And I've got a Debian Linux machine, which I've connected to here, and I'm running the Velociraptor front end on it. So that's what you see messages going by. And I'm going to control it with the Velociraptor server GUI, which is here. So this is the home page of Velociraptor. And if I go to show all, then I have a Windows 10 machine connected. And when I click on that, that is this Windows 10 machine that you see there. So now what we're going to do is put some malware on this machine and analyze it. So here's the instructions, and the problem last time largely was I didn't carefully follow the instructions. So we want to disable Windows Defender, and on my private cloud machines, Defender is already disabled, which you can see if I open Windows Defender settings. It will tell me, I think, virus and threat protection, that it's managed by your organization, because I disabled it in group policy. So it's disabled, and that's what we want. All right. So now I have to install the PUP. So I go to this URL and use Edge or Internet Explorer, whichever one this is, because Firefox is too smart to download malware. But Edge is not. So if I right-click, yeah, are you done messing around yet? Okay, then paste and go. All right. And so now it will, in the fullness of time, I think, ask me whether I want to save that file. And then again, maybe not. Well, here it is. It's just at the bottom of my screen. That's why I didn't see it. Okay, good. All right. So I pup4.zip. I want to save it. And there it goes. I can open the folder. And there it is, pup4.zip. Okay, so now unzip it, use the password malware, right click, extract all, extract. I'm going to get rid of this to clean up the screen. All right, and now I'll say malware and say OK. It unzips and creates a folder. And in this folder, there are a few files. Now what you have to do is run pup4.exe as administrator, and then move pup4 message to the root of C. It doesn't do that for you. You have to do that manually. That's what confused me last week. So right-click, run as administrator, and it will ask for permission, and you say yes, and it does something as administrator. Okay, now you take pup4 message and put it in the root of C. And continue. And if any of those steps pop up warning messages, you bypass them to make them happen, of course, because we're trying to infect this with this machine with this fake malware. So it is supposedly moving. And I do not know why it is so blooming slow, but I think it will eventually finish. Okay, then we could delete this stuff and empty the recycle bin and restart the machine. Yes. I wonder if there is a warning box or something. No? Well, let's see if there's, aha. Well, it's not dead. But does seem like it's taking too long. All right, let's see if I can do this another way. Yeah, I think my desktop has crashed or something, not responding. Yeah. Something bad has happened to my machine. I'm going to restart it if I can. Okay, there. Maybe it's responding now. Let's see if I can get Task Manager or anything open. Ah, good. It just restarted Windows Explorer. This is fairly common that Windows Explorer has a defect. Maybe there's something preventing it from copying. Well, there shouldn't be, but let's see. Certainly if I had antivirus and such, that would be in the way. But let's see if it did it. See, it should just require administrator privileges to copy to the root directory. And I bet if I do it in a command prompt, it'll work. But let's try it one more time this way. So I go to Downloads, PUP4, and there it is, PUP4 message. So if I drag and drop it on C, see, it asks for administrator permissions, and I say yes. Yeah, it looks like it's fouling up again. All right, so let's see if I can just restart the machine. That might help. Right-click. I said right-click. Yeah, this machine is not happy. Can I start a command prompt? Yeah, it looks like the desktop is crashing again. I'm going to say, yeah, admin terminal. Yeah, admin terminal I think would be the way to do it. But I'm having trouble even restarting the machine. So something is going wrong with my graphical desktop here. And this is where I can say I'd be better off if I used Caitlin's Proxmox, which would let me easily restore this back to a clean state. All right, this is giving me trouble. I'm going to go to my control of this desktop. I've got control of the host machine here. And so this is my Windows machine. So I'm going to restart it from here. Power, restart, force a restart. There we go. Okay. All right. And that's going to break my RDP connection, which is fine. But I can see the desktop here. There it is restarting. This might make it happier. And if I had this in, say, Azure, there's a way to force an Azure restart too in the Azure control panel. All right. All right, let's see if I can get in with RDP again. Okay. This kind of stuff has been the bane of Windows forever, that the GUI doesn't work very well. Let's try the command prompt. Is this going to let me open a command prompt? Well, that's a good start. Okay. Now I'd like an administrator command prompt. Right-click. Oh, right-click is working. Okay. This machine is acting healthier. Okay. Yes. All right. So let's go to users. Let me just move this over to make it look a little prettier. There. Let's go to users. I think it is student. No, it's IE user on this thing, I think. Yeah. And then downloads, and then PUP4, and then PUP4 again. Okay, this I think is where the stuff is. There's the file PUP4 message. So I would like to copy PUP4 message to C:/. That should be a C. All right, now it looks like it works. So now let's go to C:/ and do a directory. And there it is. Okay, so I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it in the GUI, but it let me do it in the command prompt. So I have now succeeded in the next step. I have done this copy. Now I would delete these, but I'm going to skip deleting these for right now in case I have to do it again. And I'm going to restart the machine, and I should see this box, because this machine should now have persistent malware that pops up an irritating box. Right-click, restart. Okay, that's good. And I can see it restarting in the other window. I love Google Desktop, Google RDP. It's good to give me control of the desktop of the host without having to walk across the room. And this way I can share it over Twitch. You can see my lame private cloud is just multiple instances of VMware Player. Much less professional than Proxmox. All right, PC1. All right. This is looking better. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these slides. All right. It's still starting up. See, it's still spinning this thing around. Okay, now it's trying to open something, and of course I'm going to allow it to open things. You have to bypass all security warnings, of course. Hey, Ron, he's not listening to me very well, though. All right. There, okay, it listened to me, I think. And there it is. This was the goal of all this. It now pops up this irritating box every time you restart it. So this is our security incident to research. The incident is this box is popping up an irritating message, therefore there's some kind of malware on it. We've now gotten to the starting point of this project. So we're going to investigate this thing with Velociraptor. So we want to use auto runs. If you have something that's automatically running, automatically launching, then the logical thing is to use auto runs. So let me go to Velociraptor, which is, now we're going to do everything in Velociraptor. You could click on the desktop of that machine and do things, but the point is you might be a whole fleet of machines spread across a continent or two continents, and that's why you want to do everything from a central server in that case. And also, once you do find indicators of compromise, you could use Velociraptor to define a hunt, and then you can run a hunt job that will do a live collection for those indicators of compromise from all the machines you specify in your fleet, and then accumulate all the results, and then you'll be able to make a report seeing which machines have those indicators of compromise. So it really is the cat's meow. So you start at the home page of Velociraptor, show all, connect to your Windows machine, and now you go to collected, and you add a new collector. And the collector is auto runs, the Windows sysinternal tool, which exists just for this reason, to find out what is automatically running on your machine. And you can configure parameters, but there really are no parameters for auto runs. Not really, we don't need to change anything. So launch. Auto runs is running. You can see its progress with a log. So the first thing it's going to do is clean a temp file out. Then it's going to download auto runs and install it from the website on the system. So that's what it's done. Then it's running an external command to run auto runs. And it's done after 14 seconds. Okay, and it found 1,346 results. So it worked, but it found 1,300 results, which is kind of annoying. All right, but you can analyze 1,300 results if you're stubborn enough, and that's what we're going to do. So here are these buttons to download the report. And the, okay. For some reason I outloaded two buttons, which is a mistake in my instructions, but I'm going to download it with this button here. Download JSON. This one here will download CSV. Oh, that's right. You can use either one of them depending on what you want to analyze. Now my Windows machine is chiming at me about something. Yeah, it does that a lot. Windows machines always make a lot of noise. Anyway, that's right. You can use either one of these to do it. If you view the JSON, here's JSON. I guess I got CSV. So I've got it. Now if I go here, I got it, and I didn't get it on my Windows machine. I got it on my Mac. So here's my CSV. And if I double click that, I can open it in a local spreadsheet, and I think it will open in the Mac numbers spreadsheet. So this is one way to analyze it if you have Excel or any other spreadsheet available. Other than that, you can use something like a text editor on the file. But the point is, I now have all the 1,400 things that automatically launch on that machine. And in order to find out what happens, here's boot execute, control set services, AJ router, ALG, AppDL6. Not obvious what all this junk is. But if you move over here, you can see the company, Microsoft Corporation, and that's what company signed this stuff. So you can make a long way by, oh, that sound, is that what that is? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I should learn how to disable the sound on my virtual machines. Anyway, you can find the items that do not have a signature. They're not owned by a company. That would be a good start. So I can select all, and then I can sort by this thing, image company. Show sort options. Sort entire table, okay. Sort now. Nope. Add a column, okay, and the column is company. There we go. Now I can do sort. Sort now. Okay, it did sort. So I can get rid of this thing. Go away about updating. All right. So these are all signed by companies like AMD and stuff. Those are not malware. Down at the bottom are the things with no signature at all. And it's going to be one of these that is likely to be my malware. Here's Velociraptor, for example, which is currently not signed, although it probably is going to be pretty soon now that Rapid7 bought it. So anyway, now we can look here and see various kinds of software launching. And these look like the registry keys that launched it. And someplace I've got the path to the executable. And there it is, cpup4message.exe. So it's not too hard to hunt through these. The unsigned things are suspicious. And these are known Windows services, the DILs and such. And you can see this one is loading from a strange place. The root of C where an exe should not be. It's not signed. And it's launching from a registry key, which is HKLM software WOW6432 node. And you can see from the WOW6432 node, it's loading 32-bit code on a 64-bit machine. So those are all relatively suspicious things about this that you can see. Anyway, so there's a flag defined there, and that shows one way to do it. All right, now, the other thing you can do is you can get the MD5 of it. If you do PS list, you can see the currently running processes. So let's try that and get rid of this thing and go to here. And I'm going to look for PS list. Okay, Windows System PS list. And again, you can look at the parameters. And you can choose the name of the process if you know the name of the process. And I do know it contains PUP, so I could do that, but I'm going to suppose that I wasn't able to find it in that list of 1,400. And this is going to list all the running processes. Well, one thing I know about it is the box is open right now. So this thing is running right now. So I should find it in this list. So let's launch it and see how many running processes there are. And here's the log. And it's done. And it found 91 processes. So There they are. Here's the command line and the exe source, and here's the MD5s for it. And so you can find the PUP4 message in here, and you can find its MD5 hash. So that's pretty cool. You'll know you could take that MD5 hash and send it up to VirusTotal or something and learn more about it. You could use that as an indicator of compromise. Now, to see what other machines have a file in the root of C with that hash, or indeed a file anywhere on the machine with that hash. So that's progress. And now, so we know that this process automatically launches, and we know that this process is currently running, but we haven't really proven that this process draws that box to make that irritating message. It could be that this process does something else. So in order to find out, we have to look at the process memory, and you can suck the memory down from the Windows machine with triage process memory. So if I go here, process memory, triage process memory will dump process memory and upload to the server. And if you go to parameters, you have a process regex, so I can give it a name of the process, which is what I want to do. I don't want to dump all the 2 or 4 gigs of RAM from that machine. I just want the memory for the PUP4 message. So I'm going to put in here PUP4. There's only going to be one process with PUP4 in the name. And now I launch. And I look in the log and see what it's doing. It's starting the execution, okay. And it's done. That was fast. Okay. If I go to results, it found it. Okay, and it found the size of the memory, and it made a file called dump. So if I go to uploaded files, it's here. And so if I click that link, it will download it onto my Mac. And I could analyze it on my Mac, or I could analyze it in a Debian machine, which is how I told you to do it in the projects. And the point is, you have to go move this to a machine where you can find the Microsoft strings. Remember, Microsoft strings are 16-bit in an old form of Unicode, so you can get that with the strings-el command. And if you look for the strings containing the word bad, you will find your computer is pwned by double bad in there, which proves that this process is making the message, and you'll find a flag down here. So anyway, that's where you stick the memory. And there's another one you can do. This will see if other EXEs on the machine are also involved. We're going to use Yara, and we're going to search for the string pwned all through the files on this box. And since I didn't delete the files in the downloads folder, we're going to see an extra hit or two in there. So this one here is there. All right. And so that's another thing you can do, is search through all the files for a string, and then you can prepare remediation. And there is a way you can launch commands. You can remediate it on the box if you want to. You can launch commands one at a time to kill the task, delete the registry key, and delete the PUP4 message. So anyway, now Velociraptor shell, by the way, didn't work when I tried it. So I had, instead of doing it this way, I had to just do it directly on the Windows client. That was the way to get rid of the malware. This Velociraptor shell means that Velociraptor could be used as a malicious project by itself. And there was a bunch of discussion I saw in the documentation for it. Should we allow you to open a shell through the Velociraptor client? That seems kind of dangerous. So they put it in, but they put some limitations in it. Anyway, logically, if you wanted to clean up machines in an enterprise, you would not do it this way. I would do it by making a batch file or something and pushing it out from the domain controller. So it will go out automatically and install software that way. That would be a better way to do it with group policy, I would think. Anyway, so that's this one, and there's a few more like it to come. But this is, like I say, Velociraptor is great. It guides you through finding the things you need to do and doing the whole process we've talked about. Finding indicators of compromise, pushing out, doing live collection from the machine, and tracking down what's happening. And in later projects, we'll actually make a hunt and deploy it to hunt through other machines. All right. I'm not sure I have that project in here because I'm going to have 2 Windows machines, but you can easily do that. Anyway, that's it for this one.